I'm Molly Kimball. Welcome to Fueled, a wellness and nutrition podcast. I'm a registered dietitian and nutrition journalist with a passion to help people live their strongest, healthiest life possible. In my weekly TV segments and columns, there's a limited amount of time and space to cover everything, but there's so much more to share. This podcast is my opportunity to dive deeper into the topics you want to know about. Today's episode is centered on giving the gift of wellness, whatever the season. So as I'm recording this, it is December, which of course is right in the thick of the giving season. But year round, there's always occasion that we are gifting, that we're, whether it's a host or hostess gift, if we go to someone's home, it's birthdays, it's anniversaries, there's always reasons that we are at least have the opportunity to give gifts. So no matter what month you're tuning into this podcast, I hope that you'll listen. I hope you'll find some inspiration here for wellness-inspired gifts. And these are, I'm going to kind of categorize them because there's a lot of different ones that I'll be talking through. We have gifts for the home chefs, the foodies, the food science buffs, for runners, for triathletes, for people, those people that we all have them in our lives that are always on the go. They never slow down. Options that are super local, way to keep it local. So lots of different kind of categories. So hopefully we'll inspire you that whoever you are sharing your love and affection with a gift to, we can help you think of something that you could really tailor and customize it to fit their needs and their wellness goals. For me, I think it's really important. Giving wellness-inspired gifts is not like giving a vacuum cleaner or a bathroom scale, but it's about supporting people and where they are. And so if you've got someone who is, you know, that they're diehard, avid, you know, whether it's yoga, Pilates, boot camp, CrossFit, whatever it is, and they're in it, that's really easy. It's kind of an obvious fit that you might give them those gifts. But really pay attention to other people in your life who might be just kind of stepping into that wellness journey, and what can we do to help support that? And so some of the even smallest little gift ideas, smallest gestures can really be supportive in helping them, encourage them to continue on that path. So I think taking the opportunity when we do have that gift time, whatever the season, whatever the occasion, when we can encourage that wellness, whether it's from a nutrition perspective, movement, self-care, improved sleep, whatever it is there, what can we do to help encourage it? But finding the perfect gift for people, I know it can be such a challenge because it's not easy to come up with things that are creative and original to fit our friends and family. I run into it every year. I'm always thinking of what can be more creative that can be that someone's actually going to also use and appreciate. So again, we've got you covered with a variety of different types of gifts. So I'll be going through some very specific ones. I'll also have the links for these in the episode notes. So you can click on it. You can see exactly what we're talking about. But beyond these that I'll be talking about, of course, there's always the evergreens, these traditional good for you gifts that are always going to be a good fit. So some that I like is a functional workout bag or gym tote, filling it with things like adding a wearable fitness tracker to it, or reusable water bottles, cute workout gear or apparel, or nutritious snacks, protein powders, protein bars. These are things that, you know, filling a workout bag with those things is always going to be an easy fit. And of course, there's always the option of gift certificates like wellness-based products and services like personal training or yoga, Pilates, boot camp, massage, sessions with a dietitian, of course. So all of those are kind of evergreens that fall under that like category of they're always going to be a good idea. Speaking of workout bags, actually, my favorite, and I'll put the link to this one too in our show notes, my favorite all-time workout bag / backpack. I'm sort of obsessed with it, but it's by UnderArmour, and it's called UnderArmour Undeniable. It's their 3.0 backpack. I use it for work and working out. I also use it for travel. And when my husband and I recently took a pretty giant trip that had us across a bunch of different countries, and we were packing like literally just a small bag, a small carry bag, and then a backpack, this fit the bill. It's essentially like everything that you can fit into a duffel bag that you would normally use as your workout bag fits into the backpack. Plus, it has a space in it, kind of a slot that you can put your laptop, securely in there that's going to be separate from any kind of workout clothes. So I can pack workout clothes in there. I can pack my change of clothes, my, work clothes in there. And then it even has a space. What got me was the ad for it. It has this pocket in there that says it can fit a basketball in this exterior zip pocket, which of course in my mind I interpret it to it can fit toiletries. And so basically I use it every day for workout/work, but it's also perfect for travel. So I'll link to that. But that's the Under Armour Undeniable backpack. It's giant, so if you're going to get that, you may not. It's not uncomfortable to carry. It holds a lot. But anyway, that's one of my favorites. Filling that with other cute, again, cute workout stuff or whatever is just always kind of an evergreen year round. So here are some other fun favorites that I've run across. Okay, so the first few that I've got, these are going to be for home chefs, food science buffs. I found this cutting board, and it's actually, the name of it is also a little bit hilarious, but it's a cutting board, like you normally just cut vegetables, prep vegetables. But the name of it is called the Obsessive Chef Cutting Board, and it's about 9 by 12. It's a sustainable bamboo cutting board. But I love the name because it actually has on kind of etched into the board these precise measurements to help ensure that like your cuts are exact. And so there are little 1-inch grid lines on the cutting board with shapes to guide you for if you're making a small dice, fine dice, julienne, and it actually says it on there of what it is that you're going to be cutting. So it is for the person who's the perfectionist chef. If they are the perfectionist, you may or may not want to get them this though, because it might fuel that even more. But it's at stores like Target, World Market, but it's also online at a website called genuinefred.com. I'll put the link. But again, that's about $27. It's a really cool board. Just kind of different than like your everyday standard cutting board. Also for kind of the food science buffs, there's this kit. It's so cool. It's called Molecular Gastronomy Kit. But it's basically like food science and chemistry and art all combined in this little molecular gastronomy kit. It's by a company called Uncommon Goods. So if you've ever been to restaurants where they bring out, like, go into one restaurant and it was like roasted cauliflower, but the presentation, it was like in the cigar box. And then when you open the cigar box, like smoke comes out and it's charred cauliflower, roasted cauliflower, but it was this like crazy presentation that they do with it. Or things where, different fruits are now converted into like little beads that are in something, or they like squish and explode in your mouth. So, this little kit allows you to create these things. So you could create something really cool if you're having people over for dinner, or if you're just like playing around with your food at home. It's just it's fun. It's great for kids. It's also really cool for adults. But they have the tools and ingredients to basically deconstruct any dish and then also change the look and the feel of those ingredients. So again, taking something like honey and turning it into like little jelly cubes, or turning vegetables into like little beads that can be in your salad. You can put dark chocolate into like spaghetti like strands. So all kinds of just crazy stuff that this has. So again, it's called Molecular Gastronomy. It's a little kit. It is their website is uncommongoods.com, but it comes with like a little instructional DVD, little pipettes, silicone mold, tubes, agar, which helps some of that stuff solidify. So it definitely appeals to the food science geek side of me. I love it. And so I think if you've got somebody else in your life that would be like that, this is a great gift. And then the third one that I've got for our home chefs is, of course, our Eat Fit Cookbook. You may have heard us talk about that. So we'll do a little bit of a plug of our own product here. But our Eat Fit team here in New Orleans and beyond into Baton Rouge, Lafayette, North Shore, Shreveport, we worked with the restaurants and chefs that we have as our Eat Fit partners and pulled together our favorite dishes from these restaurants and compiled them into a cookbook. So it is 125 recipes from more than 40 different Eat Fit partners, ranging from high-end restaurants like Commander's Palace to food trucks to Mexican restaurants, and everything in between. And we've got delicious desserts, mocktails, cocktails, appetizers, dips, all kinds of good stuff in there. So the website is eatfitcookbook.com. And one of the things I love to do if you're giving a cookbook of any type, I would love it if you give the Eat Fit Cookbook. I think it turned out we're excited with how it turned out. It turned out pretty. A shout out to Emily Eichhoff, our nutrition intern turned photographer for the cookbook, as well as Teddy Taylor, who also did a lot of the photos in it. But any type of cookbook that you're giving, I love giving a healthful cookbook, but also giving some of the key ingredients to make one of the recipes. So picking your favorite ingredient or theirs, or your favorite dish or theirs, and then wrapping up that cookbook with the ingredients or tools or gadgets or something to help encourage them to specifically make one of those dishes. So those are some of my favorites for like the home chefs and foodies. I want to stop and take a minute to thank our sponsor, Ancient Nutrition. I am a huge, huge fan of their brand, including their multi-collagen protein, and I am beyond thrilled that they are sponsoring this podcast episode. So, of course, we have to include the mention that these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and that this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure or prevent any disease. But I've actually done a full podcast on the health benefits of collagen and also more tips on how to use it, why it's good for us. So scroll back through your podcast library to find it. It was like episode 7 or so, pretty early on. So Ancient Nutrition's multi-collagen protein, it's available as a flavorless powder that you can add to water, coffee, or anything like that into baking. But they also have it in vanilla, chocolate flavors like strawberry lemonade, cucumber, lime. They even have a cold brew coffee flavor. One of the things that sets it apart is that it is made with 5 different types of collagen from 4 types of food sources: beef, chicken, fish, and eggshell membrane. All are non-GMO, pasture-raised, cage-free, and cruelty-free sources. And each serving has 9 grams of protein, 0 grams of carbs or fat. And an added bonus, it's available by the tub, like you'll normally buy something like protein powder by the tub. You can buy the Ancient Nutrition multi-collagen in the tub, like 40 or 24 servings per container. But it's also in these little single-serving stick packs, which are perfect for holiday gifting. They're actually really perfect for holiday stocking stuffers. So if it's around December and you're looking for stocking stuffers, it's fantastic. If you're looking for this podcast or listening to this podcast some other time, they're still just great little tuck it into a bag. Like it's kind of just like a little extra to leave on a coworker's desk or to bring as like a little host gift, especially if someone's curious, they can give it a try. So you can get $10 off right now at ancientnutrition.com and use the promo code FUELED. And that's a special offer for our listeners. And it's an easy way to help support our show. So get $10 off ancientnutrition.com. Type in the promo code FUELED, like fueled wellness and nutrition, but just fueled, and you'll get $10 off. So if you have someone who is a runner in your life, check out this website, Gone for a Run. It is a gold mine of gift ideas for runners. One of the things that I think is really cool that they do, you can scan an image of a race bib, so the little number that someone wears whenever they're running a race, and they can actually turn it into coasters. And they're like really nice quality coasters. That's a super cool thing to do, especially if someone has done a race that is, it's their first marathon ever, or they did the Boston Marathon, or something that was just a really big achievement, accomplishment. Taking that race bib, scanning it in, and they can turn it into coasters. They have other kind of gift ideas too that they can do with race bibs, but I think that that's just a really cool thing. So if you've got a runner on your list, they also have countless other types of gifts that are running themed. They have cool artisan jewelry. They have wine glasses, all kinds of stuff that's just runner themed. So really cool stuff on that website, all centered on runners. So another gift that I like to do for someone who is running, but in a different way, just always on the run and doesn't really kind of needs things that are quick, fast, efficient. Giving a week of juicing is, I think, a really cool idea. And this is kind of one of my new favorites, and I've done for a few people, and it introduces them to it. I think it's, they're kind of like, what is this? And they're not sure if they're going to like it. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't love them all. But basically, getting fresh pressed vegetable juice, of course, in our diets is a very good thing. A 16-ounce bottle of juice can easily fit in 4 to 5 pounds worth of vegetables. Plus, juicing, of course, helps us absorb all the nutrients from the vegetables. You can add a wider variety of vegetables really easily to your diet. You might not know how to cook them, or you may not really love eating them, but if you're just going to drink it in kind of this one fresh pressed juice that you'll have daily, it's just a really easy, efficient way to get in all these nutrients. So here in New Orleans, I love the Green Fork. Most cities now, or different types of juice bars are popping up around the country. Some cities have many of them. Others may have just one, but take a look around where you are and see what your options are. So I'll tell y'all what I do with the Green Fork, and hopefully in the other cities or areas that y'all are, you can kind of extrapolate it. So they deliver weekly. They deliver a couple of times a week, but I'll have them deliver weekly, and they'll deliver 7 juices. I take 3, put them in the fridge. I put 4 into the freezer. Ideally, you want to drink fresh pressed juices right away, but if you're freezing it, that's still going to be okay. And for me, it's a very time efficient thing, and I'm only paying for delivery once a week. So when I do it as gifts, I'm not doing it as an ongoing thing, but as a gift, the Green Fork will deliver to someone's home or office, and they could do 3 or 6 or 7 or whatever it is. But typically I'll do a week's worth of juices from the Green Fork, and I'll kind of vary what they are. So one that I actually worked with the Green Fork to create is a juice blend called Balance. It has pretty much everything in it. It's beets, so it's really earthy, spinach, kale, cucumber, cilantro, turmeric, ginger, sea salt, all types of just the full spectrum of vegetables all thrown into this. But like I said, it's really earthy. It's not for the faint of heart. But they also have a juice called Love Juice, and it is more greens. It's very light. It has a little bit more citrus, maybe a little bit of apple in it. And it is something that is a little more of a easy first step for someone who's maybe not into juicing. So I'll do an assortment, 1, 2, or 3 of a couple of different ones to expose and introduce these to my friends who I'm giving the juice to. So again, they may not love that Balance that's super earthy, but they may say, you know what, I could do that Love one. And, it's mostly veg with a little bit of citrus and some apple. And I like that just well. And just, again, introducing people to something different that they might not do for themselves. Of course, you can always juice your own juices. A lot of people do that, but the time it takes to juice it, the time it takes to clean it up, if the juice delivery is an option, that can be a good fit. They're typically around $8 or more for a 16-ounce bottle. My husband and I split it daily. And then they recycle the jars or bottles that they deliver it to, so you get $1 back for each one. And then again, I'll have it delivered just once a week to save on delivery fees. But so all of that is to say, what I do on a weekly basis here at our home, we can do that as just 1 week of gifting for someone. So may or may not be a fit for the people in your life. Depends on kind of where they are in that wellness journey. But it is, if you've been hearing someone say, man, I really want to try juicing, just be aware that if you've got a place in your area that does deliver, they can do something like that for you for holiday gifts. Also, for that friend who's always on the go, especially the friend who may be on the go too much, a gift that is just one of my favorites that I've given a lot over the years is a book called Thrive. And this is by Arianna Huffington. And she wrote it, it came out in about 2014, but it is still a solid favorite of mine. I've given it to so many friends, family, and it is definitely a life-changing read. And so Thrive, the concept of it is basically it helps us to redefine success. And so instead of focusing on these traditional measures of success like money and power, which can lead us to feel burned out and damage the quality of our relationships and our careers and our mental well-being, Arianna Huffington introduces a third measure of success that includes a combination of well-being, wisdom, wonder, giving. And it is a really... it's a deep read. She dives deep. She dives deep into a lot of science, into a lot of research, but it's filled with anecdotal stories. And as I read it, I feel like she wrote it just for me. And that's the feedback I've gotten from a lot of people as well. It's as if she's taken a glimpse into the lives that we sometimes create for ourselves that are on this spiral of go, go, go. And she is helping us to understand how and why this can be damaging, and kind of help guide of what can be a better way. So the book Thrive is always on my gift guide for people, and look it up. You'll kind of see the summary of it online. Thrive Global is the platform that she has now created. I actually contribute as a writer for Thrive Global, which is exciting as well. But take a look at it. And as you see kind of the summary of the book, there will probably be people you think of in your life that you go, all right, that could be a great gift for them. Again, all of these gifts that we're talking are any time of the year. Along the same lines of that is a line of inspirational cards and prints called Foodspirations. This is I love this line. It's fun. It's adorable looking, and it's also created by my friend and colleague, registered dietitian, and also New Orleans native. She now lives in Lafayette, Yvette Perrier Quantz. She is our Eat Fit Acadiana dietitian. But she is just this, like, her brain doesn't stop creating. And she has all types of beautiful, inspirational quotes. Mostly she started with it being more nutrition and wellness, and it has just kind of evolved. So her designs are really clean, they're really simple. So she has inspirational cards, prints, she can do magnets, all types of stuff. So these are just really great. It can serve as the sole gift, or it can kind of serve as an extra with that gift. So when it comes to the fashionista that you're buying for, check out this brand. It's called Tasc, Tasc. They're actually a New Orleans owned company, but you can find it in stores across the country. But Tasc is basically a performance lifestyle apparel company. It is sustainably made using bamboo, and it basically makes the most super soft cotton out of this bamboo. But, the fact that they use bamboo means it's a naturally replenishing resource. And so it's very eco-friendly. It's beautiful. It's super comfortable. They have everything from it's mostly athletic wear, but it's also things to run, do yoga. But they have really cool jackets, things that are kind of just like stylish for everyday wear, everyday errands. Really cool athletic skirts, scarves, all that kind of stuff. They have they also work with me to do a 20% off. So you can enter Kimball-19 and you'll get 20% off of their site. I am a Tasc ambassador for them here in New Orleans. Also, our dietitian at Oshner Fitness Center, Lauren Hewlin, is, and several other wellness folks all around New Orleans. So it's been really fun working with them on that. But separate from that, I've always been a fan and always find myself in Tasc apparel, and it makes a really great gift. So for men and women. All right. So if you've got the creative person in your life, this is one of my favorite gifts. I did this year actually. This was a gift that I did for our entire Eat Fit nutrition team, and I gifted them a pottery class. So I do pottery, and I do go to the studio weekly and make pottery. But we brought our whole group there, and we can do this with pottery. You can do it with painting, anything that is something that's creative, type of an art class or series of art classes. It's basically you're giving the people the gift of like fun, of creating and accomplishment, and trying something new that they haven't tried with their hands before, or maybe didn't think they could do. And for us, especially as dietitians, so much of what we do is planning and talking, and it's long-term projects. So something like pottery that we all walk in there, and by the time we leave, we've created a couple of really cool things. It's a really rewarding thing. So I love giving the gift of art or art classes or series of classes. If it's someone that you're super close with, sign yourselves up together to do it, and that's your gift together. So thinking just kind of different ways that we can, when we're giving someone a gift, how can we help them like to feed the creativity, nourish the wellness in their mind, so whether it is a book like Thrive or creative classes like pottery or the inspirational quotes and note cards like Foodspirations, there's so many different things that if we're going to be gifting someone throughout the year anyway, we can help them with these. And then finally, Because it's December as I'm recording this podcast, we will talk about stocking stuffers. But these little stocking stuffers, I would say, are also just like great little office gifts year round. They don't have to go in a stocking. They can just be nice little, just extra gifts that you might stick in a coffee mug or something like that. That would be a good or reusable water bottle, whatever it might be. But these are things that can be gifted year round as just kind of those small little extra happies. One I love is Noon. It's these electrolyte tabs. So especially if you've got someone who's an athlete, they're losing a lot of sweat. They need that sports drink, but they don't want so much sugar. I love Noon. It is spelled Nuun. And they're kind of like in a little plastic container, a little cylinder, and they look like little tablets. And you put them in your water bottle, and it's basically low sugar, no artificial colors, any of that, but really high electrolytes. And they're a perfect little stocking stuffer or something to add extra to like a little gift bag or something. Another thing that I think is just great is stuff like protein bars, because you can buy them loose in so many stores. Some of my favorites are Oat Mega bars or Bulletproof bars, Epic. There's one called No Cow, that NOCOW, like the animal No Cow. And that was a vegan bar. So there's just so many different ones that sticking these in a stocking or putting them in a little gift bag for kind of a year-round holiday gift. And then finally, a fantastic stocking stuffer was one we talked about earlier, which is the Ancient Nutrition Multi-Collagen. So again, you can buy it in the tubs, but you can also buy it in the little single serving stick packs. And I love that because if you don't know if you're ready to commit to the full canister of powder, these little single serve stick packs are great, but they're also super portable, and you can keep them in your car, in your gym bag, at your desk. And that way, no matter where you are, you can always remember to squeeze in your collagen. So I hope these have been useful holiday gift ideas. If you incorporate these, if you're gifting some of these, or if you receive some gifts like this and you're excited, let me know. I love to hear it. And if there's other gifts that you give that you think, hey, you didn't talk about this, you should cover these things as great gift ideas, please let me know as well. So I'm Molly Kimball, and you've been listening to Fueled Wellness and Nutrition, the podcast. If you would like more Fueled Wellness and Nutrition, please head over to mollykimball.com, and you can follow me, Molly Kimball RD, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you haven't yet, please go to Apple Podcasts and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. And join us next week for another dose of Fueled Wellness and Nutrition. Thanks for listening, and stay focused on living your strongest, healthiest life possible.